So welcome everyone. So in this video we will discuss about the introduction about design of staircases. So first of all we should know the what is mean by staircase. It is also a structural element which is access the move from down floor to ground floor. So for that purpose only we will use these staircases. So we will let's see in depth. So it is structural element provided for connecting successive floor, first floor to second floor. We are connecting via the staircases floor of a building. So it giving access between one floor to another floor. So for that purpose only we are going to design the staircases. So depends upon the functions which will be vary. So now see the components of staircases. So this is the staircases, all of you aware that. So this is the series of steps which is movement from down floor to first floor. This is the ground floor. Let us take example. This is the first floor. So from here this is landing. This is the first floor landing. This is the ground floor landing. So from landing to landing we having a number of steps. So this called as a step. So in this step we having a rise and a tread. The vertical height we call it as a rise. Horizontal portion we call it as a tread. In case of any projection we call it as a going. Tread plus that portion we call it as a going. So from landing to landing, the portion of that stair we call it as a flight. So below the steps we call it as a waist slab. So these are the components which have to be known for the purpose of design of staircases. So even we are design for a staircases, we have to know the following design requirement. So for that we will discuss about the difference between residential building, public building. Public building comes under comes the categories of educational building, commercial building, organizations. So like that we can say public building. So in case of width of staircases, the width of staircases is nothing but this one. So depends upon the functions. In case of if we are providing in the residential building, we have to provide it is comfortable for 1 meter. In case of public building we have to provide 2 meter. 850 mm is enough for the comfortable. 850 mm is comfortable for the providing the in residential building. When it comes to the flight is nothing but the landing to landing distance we call as a flight. So it should be having a minimum 3 steps to maximum 12 steps. Once via the more than 12 steps we have to provide the landing for the rest purpose. So in case of if you are not providing more than 12 steps landing, we will feel the pain. Public building also minimum we have to provide 3 to 12 steps. So tread portion we are landing our foot on the horizontal portion. In public building we have to residential building we will provide the 200 to 250 mm, whereas public building we have to provide 200 to up to 300 mm we can provide. Rise is the vertical portion. So in our residential building we will have to provide 150 at least, then maximum 180 mm. In case of public building we have to provide 120 to 150 mm. For comfortable access, if you are providing the choosing the thread and rise, the following condition has to be fulfilled. The sum of t plus twice the rise, which is should be 500. It should comes 500. In case of your product of thread plus thread into rise, it comes range under 40k to 42k. If you are choosing thread is 200, rise is 150. So 200 plus 2 into 150, it should comes under 500. So like that we have to choose. In case 200 plus 150, it is under 45. So not 45, 30. So 30,000. Like that we have to choose. So you have to satisfy these two conditions. In case of if you are choosing the sum, it should be comes under 500. If your product the thread and rise, it comes under 40,000 to 42,000. This is the requirement for the design of staircases. Types of staircases. So let's see one by one. The first one is straight staircases, which is having a two landing in between number of steps, which is simply, this is the first floor, this is the second floor. Simply we construct a simple flight, so we call it as a straight staircase. Whereas thread riser staircases, it's a simply, it's a, when we see from the side view, it will look like a folded type. So thread rise, like that only. It will folded type, like it will look like a folded type. So it will mostly, most of the building we will see this kind of staircases. Next, cantilever. So cantilever is nothing but the one end is supported, another end is free. So it will look like that when we see from the front. So this is the step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So like that. So support is only on on the wall. Next, dog legged. It will be frequently used on most of the building. Dog legged, when we are looking from a side view, it will look like a dog shape, the dog leg shape. So when we see from the side view, it will look like that. This is the dog legged staircases. So here landing, this is another floor landing. So half of the way there is another one landing is provided here. So it will halfway we can easily reach it to the another floor. So this is the dog legged staircases. This one is next to is geometrical. So due to space conjunction, we are going to use this kind of staircases. So some of the example is circular staircases, this one, then spiral staircase, this one. So where the minimum space is enough to go to construct the staircases, that time we will go for a geometrical staircases. It will occupy only a minimum portion of building. That's why we prefer this kind of geometrical staircases, and as well as this kind of staircase is only easily made. It can easily available in the market. So precast also available. Then sixth one is quarter turn. So this is the quarter turn staircases. So it's only first initial 3 steps, then it will turn on the right angle or inclined shape. So it is called as a quarter turn staircases. Then seventh one, half turn staircases. Half of the way it will turn right angle like that. So when we move from here, the half portion that is landing, then it will suddenly turn at the 90 degree. Then open newel, when we are see from the plan view, it will look like a empty space in between. So it is called open newel staircases. So here also steps is there. Then here also we provide steps. There is a 2 landing in between the staircases. Then finally we reach out the floors. It is used to the ventilations and as well as the light coming into that newel. Then bifurcated, the most of the public building we can see this kind of staircases. The most crowded people coming from the first staircases, then split to the 2 directions. One in this direction, another one in this direction. So most of the public building we can see this kind of staircases. So these are the different types of staircases we used in our building. So due to the depends upon the purposes and functions, we can choose out of this kind from the staircases.